Men are born poor. Women are born rich. All right, now, by hearing that title right there, a lot of you guys already know what I'm talking about. But for those of you that don't, this is going to be a good wake-up call for you. This video might have some bleak moments for us guys, but there's optimism. And I'll cover that kind of towards the end of the video, but as men, it gets better with age. Just going to say that for you. But what I mean by men are born poor and women are born rich is, let's just take baseline expectations of if you're looking for a relationship. And we know now that women look for the 6 6s. I did a video about that. 6-figure income, 6 feet tall, 600 horsepower car, blah, blah, blah. So there's this really high standard for men. And even that's like a measure that women use as a baseline. And a lot of times the expectations are crazier than that, a lot higher than that. And either way, that's a huge standard. Now let's take a look at like what are our standards for women. If I were to go, okay, what do I look for in a woman? And you guys might be the same as this. It's like, I don't have all these requirements. Now, I mean, okay, I have high standards and all that stuff, but I mean, if I were to just be very simple, right? If a girl said, okay, 6 6s in a guy is what she wants. To me, what I want is she's young, she's attractive, she's in shape, and quite honestly, at this point, knowing with what I know about hypergamy, pair bonding, all that stuff, a virgin. Those are the 3 requirements. That to me, out of all of the women that I've dated in my life, when I peel it back and I go, like, okay, that's kind of that's the standard. If you have that, you have a really good shot. Versus, flip side, women that date multiple men, their standards always increase to higher and higher. Well, this guy had $750,000 in his bank account. Well, I want a guy with $1 million now. Oh, this guy had a BMW. Well, I want a Lamborghini now. Like, their standards keep increasing with the more. Where I'm like, I've dated all these women. It's like, if you're young and you're attractive, and you don't need to have a master's degree. You don't need to have all these crazy accomplishments. Like, I want you to be feminine, and I would like you to have the characteristics of a good mother. But you see how everything that I would be looking for, and I think that this is similar to a lot of guys, it's like women are born with that. Okay? They're born rich. It's like you are born rich. You're born with everything that you need. You have the youth. You have, if you stay in shape, which is something, again, you're born in shape, and a virgin. That is something you could control as well, right? You're born with that. That is what I mean by women are born rich. Think about it. They have their greatest assets from birth. Men, on the other hand, and this is what's so crazy, is that women they just can't understand this. They think the patriarchy, women actually think that men are born and they have this entitlement. Like, us men, the world is easy for us because the patriarchy. That women actually think this. It's crazy. When in reality, men are born poor. Men have to work for things. Again, look at the 6 6s. You have to work to attain the 6-figure income, the 600 horsepower car. All right? You have to work for things as men. However, again, women, simply, you're born with all the assets that you need to get you into a wonderful spot in life. All right, now, some other things that I wanted to kind of cover here is like the invisible men. And again, this is something that women don't, I've tried to talk to women about this, and they don't understand. Now, I myself was not an invisible man. I had 2 brothers. I had great parents, a lot of friends growing up. I was not like an invisible man per se. but I can still rationally understand this point of view. There are a lot of men that go through their entire lives being virtually invisible to the world. Now, granted, some women have some really bad situations too, but they're never invisible. There are men that are like shadows to the world. Think of some of the homeless people on the street, the men. It's like they're shadows to society. Nobody ever gives them attention. Again, when I say, man, I got so lucky. I got such an awesome family. I have really good parents. To the people that don't have that, I truly feel bad. That, especially the men that aren't going to get attention from other people in society unless you work for it. So that's another thing that women will never understand, is that there's, and that's why the suicide statistics and, just of men, young men, because young men grow up, you hear all the feminist stuff and, toxic masculinity, all this stuff, and it's like men don't have role models to look up to, and you just get bashed from it. So young men committing suicide, so sad. Young anyone committing suicide is sad, but to the men, I can understand why. They're invisible, and we're being fed this crap about how bad men are. So again, I can understand that. It sucks. Older men that get just honestly, just totally drugged through the mud through the court system, from family court or child support, divorce court. And the statistics for men committing suicide after divorce, man, so sad, because they have no one there to look out. A lot of guys watch this, you know what I'm talking about. And again, I haven't gone through that stuff, but as a man, I can actually see that side. I can see that perspective, and it's sad. Women do not see this because they never have to worry about, no matter what, women can get attention, no matter what. Just log on to online dating. They can get tons of attention. Post a selfie on Instagram, tons of attention. Guys, no way, not the same. We all know that. So now, here's the optimistic point of view here. Is that I've never seen the movie Benjamin Button, but I guess I know the premise probably well enough to make this metaphor or analogy or whatever. Is that, again, women are born rich, but they're a commodity. They're an asset that decreases over time. It's like buying a car. Once you buy that new car, women are born. They're born rich. But once you buy that car, once you test drive it, you lose value right when you drive it off the lot. The first time a girl has sex with a guy, she loses value that she had. Every time from there on out, loses more value. Okay, now, men, on the other hand, we grow in value over time. We are born poor, but as a man grows, as a man gets more of his life together, as a man gets more finances under his belt, as he progresses at work, as he progresses in his career and his business, as a man experiences new things, he explores places, he travels, does different hobbies. The more experience a man has, that adds to his overall status in the world. Just experiencing life. And then obviously growing assets and all that stuff is great. So is men, now this is why, because of I just saw Tim Pool go over an article about young men suicide statistics, and it's like, if you're a young man, and that's part of what I want to explain about my channel, is that I teach about dating women and all that stuff, but a huge part of my life has zero to do with women. It's just that my channel teaches men how to get better with women, how to basically even the playing field, because women have learned this stuff from a real young age, so they have all sorts of tools in their tool belt with the dating and manipulation and all that stuff. But to a young guy out there, don't worry about women. Focus on building your lifestyle. Focus on creating a more valuable person to bring to the world. Focus on getting those experiences. Man, gosh, I'm just trying to think of like anything you can do to add to your repertoire as a man will help you in the future. If you volunteer at a homeless shelter, you volunteer at a animal shelter, even though that gives you nothing right now, it's like, I don't even know why I brought that scenario up, but anything you do like that you're just learning something new, you're adding to your life experience, over time, that helps increase your value as a man, your status. The finances, of course, always increase. Working out, taking care of your body, eating better. All of these things go when you hit, and this is, by this point when I'm filming this, I don't know if I've put out the video yet on sexual marketplace value, the truth and the lie. But that's the optimism for us men, is that we are born poor, but the more you put into yourself, it's so cliche, but the reason these cliches are around is because it's true. It's like the more you build your life, you increase over time. Lots of guys, I've seen so many comments on different videos about how, women age like milk. Like no one wants expired milk, spoiled milk. Men age like wine because over time, wine gets better. It's a great analogy. That's very true. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe. Peace.